In the Congo, the darker you are, the more picked on you get. But it's just they will make fun of you for being darker, and that sometimes will happen to me. Versus if you lighter skin, people tend to like you better. More attractive to certain girls. Like, people will assume that you have more money because you have a lighter skin. But if you're a darker skin, they will think that you are working in some sort of like labor job or something.
For us, it's tribalism because there are so many tribes in the same country. Where here, mostly it's like race, this race, that race, white, black, right? In my country, it's this tribe, that tribe. People tend to favor people from their tribe. Certain tribe wants to dominate the government and so on and so forth. When it comes to colorism, to a degree, I'm light skinned. I was light skinned when I was younger. And then people tend to say, oh, it looks good. Maybe because of my lighter skin.
In Trinidad, if you go to talk to Black people, you will hear them talk about being discriminated for a job or for promotion or anything. You will hear that conversation in Trinidad, even though the country is predominantly Black and East Indian or African descent and East Indian.
Oh, yeah. There are organizations where persons of power would be, let's say, an East Indian, and a Black person might or most likely might be more qualified than the East Indian. And according to who the person is in power, they would hire their race, especially the East Indians. So that happens.
It happens.
My dad is light skinned. Like, literally, if you look at him, you would think that he's white. But he's not white. But he's Albanian. So, like, for him, people don't think that he's a human at all. Like, God didn't create him that way, like, it's just another mistakenly piece of this brought to this world. So where I grew up in Kenya, they actually killed him. People like him, they kill him because they don't need to be existing in this world, and they don't need to be creating more of them in this world. So I kind of see, like, if you're not dark, you're not basically part of the African culture, or like you're not African at all.
Growing up as a kid, I didn't see race relations, so I didn't really notice them. And I want to say that would have been the same thing as here, because I think we're kind of oblivious to it. My father was very white-skinned. My great-grandma is light-skinned, white-skinned, so they call themselves white, right? But there isn't that racial hierarchy like there was in the U.S., so therefore it's a lot more mixed down there. My sister, I have a twin sister, she looks nothing like me skin tone. She's white, and she can pass off as a white woman. So could my dad. So those were my perceptions of being white in Mexico. Was just normal. Coming to the U.S., I would just see that people kind of like make fun of them a little bit, but I didn't really see any privilege. So for my sister, they would say, "Oh, you're not Mexican. You're white." That's how they would hurt people who are light skinned, or they would throw jokes at them and be like, "Oh, you look up as a white person."
So after I first moved to America, I experienced prejudice and racism. I did. I remember when I first came here, I was in my 20s. So I had this old sport car, Toyota Supra. I was very proud of that car, proud of myself. In the summer, I took the top off. I'm cruising Portland. I got pulled over by a cop. I wasn't speeding, and then after he took my license, came back and said, "Have a good night, sir." I'm like, "May I ask, why did you pull me over?" He said, "Oh, it's just a routine check." I'm like, "Okay, cool." To me, I believe it was a routine check. I didn't know it wasn't anything like routine check, right? And so it was later that I realized, no, there is no routine check. There was a reason. And the only reason I got pulled over was because I was black.
Few hours after I landed in the airport, just got in the country. We're in 2013. We came with a group, this program of like international students from my country. We were all staying downtown Portland. It was like around midnight, was hungry. So we just walking around like 1, 2 a.m. by Portland State. And as we're walking, we see a cop. He put his light on and he just we walking on the sidewalk, no one is jaywalking or anything, but like he comes with his car, you know, and then he just literally like stopped in front of us on the sidewalk, and then he's yelling like, "What you guys doing here?" You know, or something along those lines, and I just respond with my really poor English that I don't know, we're just hungry. We're looking for something to eat. I'm sure that he heard my accents, my thick accent, and then he became suddenly nicer, and he's like, and his voice became more soft, and he responded, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And I was like, "Oh, we're from the Congo." And he asked me again, "What you guys doing here? It's like 2 a.m." And I looked, and I told him, like I told you, like we're looking for something to eat. And he was like, "Oh, okay, be safe, guys, be safe." And then he left. But he left making us feel unsafe at that moment. And I didn't really think of it as racism. And it wasn't until later when I was able to share my story, that's when people were telling me, yes, they stopped you because you guys were 5 black guys walking down the street downtown Portland. They probably thought that you guys were up to something with no other indication than our skin color. So that was my first ever experience of racism. But like I said, I didn't know it was racism then.
Ever since 9/11 happened, like a lot of people became Islamophobic. I don't get that just from like white people. I also get that from my own kind, which is like black people. They would be like, "Oh, look, a terrorist." And I'm like, really? Like, I'm just a human being. Just because I represent a religion does not mean all religions are bad. And then I also get like people from Asia like telling me I'm terrorist also too. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of like literally the bad guy in this world, apparently, just because I'm Muslim. No matter what my skin color is, no matter what gender I am, that doesn't matter to them, because the first thing they see is like my headscarf. And then after that, they assume I'm a terrorist right away. So they're like, "Oh, look, it's another terrorist." And I'm like, I'm just a human being.